Alrighty, folks, we are 6-1 in our last 7 board member tier package bets on brockpage.com. And if you want to access today's board member tier package bet, the link for that play is in the description section below. And if you want to see which one of these free YouTube picks on my channel that I'm actually betting on personally, there's only one way to do that, and that's to sign up for a membership on my website at brockpage.com. I have packages on that webpage beginning at just $1.99. And with that, guys, let's go ahead and dive into some free content. We're actually going to start off with the Giants taking on the Brewers, 6:10 Eastern first pitch on Monday, April 25th, 2022. Now, Milwaukee's minus $2 with the total at 7. Corbin Burns for Milwaukee, Sam Long for San Francisco. Now, Sam's yet to allow an earned run on the season. He's got a .64 whip thus far out of the bullpen. And in addition to winning their last 3 straight, San Francisco's cashing in on the run line in 80% of their road games this year. And speaking of those road games, the Giants have actually done a nice job of scoring away from home. They're actually in the top 5 in the majors in runs per 9 on the road. Now, Jock Peterson's hit 5 home runs on the year already and also has an OPS of 1.133. Meanwhile, Brandon Belt's hit 4 home runs himself, and he's also knocked in 9. Now, they're taking on a Milwaukee team who has a losing record against the run line this year, and they also rank in the bottom 5 in the league in hits per game at home. Of course, needless to say, no real surprise here. The Brewers are scoring a measly 3.4 runs a game on average. Now, total-wise, 5 out of Milwaukee's last 7 home games fell under the line. They're also 12-4 to the under for the entire season at any location. Meanwhile, the Giants are 10-6 to the under for the entire year themselves. I'm going to lean towards San Francisco plus 1.5, keeping this one close in the under 7. Next ball game, Rockies, Phillies, 6:45 East. Philadelphia's minus $2, totals 8.5. Kyle Gibson for the Titans, Kyle Freeland for Colorado. And even though Freeland's off to a pretty rough start, the lefty still struck out 10 batters in 14 innings of work. Meanwhile, offensively on the other side of things, this Colorado lineup has been pounding the baseball. They're currently in the top 3 in OPS, and they have a team batting average of .270 right now. C.J. Cron, he's hit 6 home runs and knocked in 17. He's actually tied for the league lead in homers. Meanwhile, Connor Joe has an OPS of 1.022, and he's hit 3 home runs himself. Now they're taking on a struggling Phillies team who's on a 2-game skid, and they also lost 9 out of their last dozen. Now, this Philadelphia team has struggled hitting the baseball at Citizens Bank Park. These guys are actually in the bottom 5 in the league in strikeouts per 9 at home. So certainly struggling making contact in front of their home fans. Now, total-wise, Phillies 3-0 to the under in their last 3 straight. 60% to the under in their last 10 meetings with Colorado. Meanwhile, the Rockies saw their last 2 straight fall under the line themselves. I'm going to lean toward Colorado plus 1.5 and the under 8.5. Next ball game, it is going to be Red Sox taking on the Blue Jays, 7:07 Eastern start time. Toronto's minus $1.30, totals 8.5. Jose Barrios for the Jays, Nathan Eovaldi for Boston. And now Eovaldi's, he's had himself a fairly decent start this year, although his whip has actually climbed up to a 1.30, and this Boston pitching staff, they've actually struggled this year with home runs. They're currently in the bottom 10 in the majors in that particular category. They're taking on a Toronto lineup who hits more homers per 9 than any other team in baseball. Now, Vladdy's got 5 home runs on the year. Springer and Collins with 3 apiece as well. When it comes to the pitching in this one, Jose Barrios, he struck out 11 batters in just over 11 innings of work despite his current struggles. I'm going to go ahead and lean toward Toronto minus $1.30 in the over 8.5. Next game, Mets, Cards, 7:45 East. The New York Mets are -145, total 7 runs. Max Scherzer for New York, Miles Mikolas for St. Louis. And even though Mikolas is having a real nice start to the year, the bats for St. Louis have certainly gone cold. These guys lost 2 out of their last 4 ball games, and they scored just 1 total run in those losses. Now, they've also failed to cash in on the run line in 2 out of their last 4 at Busch Stadium. They're taking on a Mets team who's won 6 out of their last 8 themselves, and they also win 70% of their road games. Max Scherzer also comes into today's contest with a 3-0 record and a .89 whip. Now, the righties also struck out 23 batters in just 18 innings pitched. When it comes to the total on this one, the Mets did see 6 out of their last 10 meetings with St. Louis get over the posted number. Meanwhile, St. Louis is 4-0 to the over at Busch Stadium this year. I'm going to lean toward the Mets -145 in the over 7 runs. Next ball game, Astros Rangers, 8:05 East. Houston's -$1.35, totals 8 runs. Framber Valdez for Houston, Dane Dunning for Texas. Now, Dunning's 0-1 on the season with a 5.68 ERA and a 1.89 whip. And this Ranger pitching staff, they're also dead last in OPS. And they're allowing more homers per 9 than any other team in baseball. This is certainly a unit that struggles. They're taking on a Houston team who actually does a real nice job hitting for power themselves. As a matter of fact, the Stros are currently in the top 5 in the majors in homers per 9 innings. Alex Bregman, Yordan Alvarez, and Jeremy Pena, they all have 3 home runs apiece on the year. Meanwhile, pitching-wise, Framber Valdez, he struck out a dozen batters in 14 innings of work. Now, when it comes to the number, Houston scoring nearly 6.5 runs a game in their last 10 meetings with Texas. So if you're into historical trends, you certainly want to think about that one there. Needless to say, 7 out of those 10 ball games I just mentioned got over the line. Meanwhile, the Rangers on the other side of things, they went 5-1 to the over in their last 6 at Globe Life Field. I'm going to lean toward Houston -135 in the over 8 runs. Next contest, it is going to be Guardians taking on the Angels, 9:38 Eastern first pitch. Cleveland's -$120, totals 8 runs. Shane Bieber for the Guardians, Michael Lorenzen for Los Angeles. Now, Lorenzen's done a real nice job striking batters out this year. He's got 9 strikeouts in just over 9 innings of work. Now, the righty also comes into today's ball game with a .86 whip. So a lot of good things happening here with Lorenzen. Meanwhile, offensively, well, the Angels actually have one of the best lineups in the American League right now. They're currently in the top 3 in the bigs in both home runs and OPS. Now, Mike Trout's got 4 home runs on the year, 1.141 OPS for the big man. Meanwhile, Adele and Ohtani both have 3 home runs apiece themselves. Now, they're going up against a struggling Cleveland pitching staff who has problems giving up home runs, and they have problems striking batters out. The Guardians are barely striking out 8 batters a game, and they're also amongst the worst in the American League in home runs allowed per contest. When it comes to the scoring in this one, Cleveland's 6-3 to the over in their last 9 on the road. They're also 60% to the over for the entire season at any location. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, the Angels saw their last 2 straight get over the line themselves, 80% to the over in their last 10 outings as well. I'm going to lean toward the LA Angels plus $1 and the over 8 runs. And with that, guys, we're going to jump into our next and final matchup for the show. It is going to be Dodgers taking on the Diamondbacks, 9:40 p.m. East. The LA Dodgers are -185, totals 9 runs. Walker Buehler for the Dodgers, Merrill Kelly for Arizona. And despite a real good start to the year for Kelly, the D-backs have a lineup that's been less than productive. They're averaging nearly double-digit strikeouts a game at the plate. And they're also batting .181 as a team. That is it. And that's certainly bad news for D-backs fans because they're going up against the best pitching staff in baseball right now here today in the Dodgers. LA's allowing only 2.5 runs a game right now on average, and they're actually limiting their competition to a very low batting average of just 191. Now, offensively, on the other side of things, when it comes to hitting the baseball, well, the Dodgers are averaging more runs a game than any other team in the majors. Cody Bellinger's hit 4 home runs along with 32 total bases. Meanwhile, Freddie Freeman's hit 3 home runs himself and has a batting average of 322. Now, total-wise, 6 out of LA's last 8 road games did fall under the posted number. They're also 67% to the under for the entire season. Meanwhile, Arizona is 7-2 to the under at Chase Field this year themselves. I'm going to lean toward the LA Dodgers minus 185. And the under 9 runs. And with that, guys, now it's time for our quick pick recap. Powered to you by my website at brockpage.com, where we are 6-1 in our last 7 board member tier package bets on that website. I like San Francisco plus 1.5 under 7 runs. Give me Colorado plus 1.5 under 8.5. Give me Toronto minus $1.30 over 8.5 runs. New York Mets minus 145 over 7. Houston Astros minus 135 over 8 runs. LA Angels plus $1 over 8. With my next and final free pick for the video, I'm going to lean toward the LA Dodgers minus 185 and the under 9 runs. With that, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on brockpage.com. If you guys do end up getting a membership here today on my website, just keep in mind, you're going to get billed the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. So if you do end up getting a membership here today on brockpage.com, you're going to get access to that membership every single day all the way through the end of April. Although I do tell folks in every single video, the earlier in the month you sign up, the better. And guys, if you want to get access to every single bet that I give out on that website, you're going to want to sign up for my board member tier package. It's actually an all-inclusive membership. Now, guys, you may be wondering what the difference is between what I do here on YouTube and what I do on my website. Well, what I do here on YouTube is I'll handicap the entire slate of games in any given sport, side and total. What I do on brockpage.com is I actually share with you which one of these free YouTube picks on my channel that I'm actually betting on personally. But most importantly, guys, got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, guys, happy Monday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at brockpage.com.